Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome back to another Friday game review. As you can probably guess, this is going to be another Western game review because it's April. And for today, I decided to review a really old game that's been in my collection for a really long time. I only got to play it a couple of times, way back in the 80s. Roughly when I got the game, I want to say I got it around 84, 85. But it's been in my collection for a good long time. I got to play it with some friends back in the days of the Unicorn's Lair over in Westminster, California. A shop, well, it was a game hall owned by the late, great Bob Dreyer, who also owned Bob's Comics back in Orange County back in the day. And he was one of the guys who really took a shine to me in the old days and gave me the run of his shop and really encouraged me to not just get into the role playing games, but into all the games of the time. And this one, none other than Gunslinger by Avalon Hill, one of their, oops, let's get that better. There we go. Absolutely loved this cover. This is one of the bookshelf games which were immensely popular back in the day. Even my old man had a few of these that weren't necessarily war games. He had a bunch of them. He was a big fan of them, and he and I never got to play this one. It just wasn't in the cards for us, and it's a shame because he would have loved this one. And if you guys are fans of the old cardboard chit counters and strategy games that don't take all night, all day, what have you, while this one was a really complicated game for what it set out to be, it was a lot of fun, had a lot of accuracy, and you got to just absolutely love that cover. It just says it all, doesn't it? So let's pop it open and see what was in it. I want to be careful because the box fart. The corner, as you can see, is a little bit beat up, but considering how long I've had this game in my collection, and how many times it's traveled back and forth across the country, and how long it stayed in storage and what have you. Rulebook, gotta have the rulebook. A little dust there. I don't know what's up with that. I've already taken this out of the box a couple of times to review it. This came out roughly 1982, and it didn't get into my hands, like I said, until 1985. And it is chock full of the rules, which I believe it's a 2 or 4 second turn phase. And then it came with a crap ton of cardboard counters for everything from the guns and the weapons in your hands and which hands they're in, to the characters, horses, things like that. Then it had several different decks of cards for results for your actions. 1, 2, 3. I guess there was just 2 decks, but they're in 2 separate packages. I'm not sure why I did that. And then it had the character roster sheets. Again, the glare is awful today. Sorry about that, guys. The sun is just beating down through the window here. But you had your character. I don't actually see a place for the name, which is really weird. But the game turns, the character bonus cards, your skills. There was a space for what was in each hand, whether it was left and right or like a rifle in both hands. The different guns and how much ammo you had, your endurance. If you took, I think it was 20 points of damage, you were out of the game. Permanent wounds, things like that. Also, stuff designed to go into kind of like a campaign sort of game, so that you could play one game and continue it in the next game should you survive. I'm not sure what these cardboard sheets are for. I have no idea. It had a couple actually several player aid cards with, the basic rules summarized on cards. But one of my favorite things about this game, and something that I could actually still use today in a lot of other games, should I choose to do so, were the map boards, the tiles. Double-sided, building interiors. This one, I believe, is the marshal's office. And a law office, a freight office. And like I said, they're double-sided, so one side is the building, so you could build up a small town, and then, more outdoors sort of thing for ambushes and things like that. But every one of them, the typical art style of the era, hex grid style, and each hex is numbered. This one looks to be some sort of I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. It almost looks like a Stonehenge kind of thing up on a hill. Kind of cool. Now the scale is probably not really good for 28 mil, but I've got a lot of 15 mil and even more 25 mil scale Western miniatures from Grenadier and Dixon Hill and things like that of the era, which would be perfect for this. 15 mil would probably be better. And thanks to my good friend James L., he sent me a bunch of Western style miniatures to go along with this. And of course, a couple of promo cards here. Do a friend a favor. Product catalog. And then an ad for the Avalon Hill General Game Magazine, which I never got a chance to get, but one of these days, hopefully I can pick them up on a DVD or a CD or something like that, so I can have them all. Last thing I need is another giant stack of magazines to worry about. But this game was a lot of fun if you were willing to spend the time. And mind you, it was very meticulous in its turn-by-turn, action economy sort of thing. I'm not going to lie, this game wasn't for everybody. You had to, right off the bat, be a huge Western fan and a huge fan of, man-to-man strategy, because that's what it was all about. It was usually, one character per player. Now, you could easily do other scenarios, because there were a lot of scenarios in here, different ways to play the game, which was something very common for a lot of games like this. The John Carter game was very similar to this, man-to-man or squad versus squad, with all kinds of scenarios and almost a role-playing aspect to it if you wanted to, push it in that direction. But mostly it was just a good time for recreating all of your favorite Westerns. Speaking of favorite Westerns, we are going to be continuing to review some of our favorite Western movies, and I'm going to be keeping a special eye to this game, seeing, which gunfights would be fun to reenact on a gaming table. Not just the time-honored, gunfight at the OK Corral, but others, especially, from movies, because then we have, more to go by, and we can set it up and go at it. Hopefully me and my son and his best friend and a couple other kids that are going to be coming over for the summer to hang out and play some games this year. Hopefully that'll be one of the games we get to play. If you've got this game in your collection, let me know. I know my friend Grim, he played the heck out of this game back in the day. And I'm curious to see if anybody else out there remembers this game, played this game, because to be honest, it's one of my favorites in the bookcase collection. And I'm going to be picking up a few others. I have here Starship Troopers, which was another one of the classic bookshelf games that I didn't get to play enough. And right after the boy watches the movie, you can guarantee we're going to play the heck out of that one. But for April, it's Western month for us here. And hopefully you guys will, before the month is over, watch at least one Western. We're going to be watching the world famous Blazing Saddles this week, and then on to 4 other Westerns. Not quite by the end of the month, but you can see those over on the Cigar DM show on Sundays, where we're going to be reviewing a whole bunch of Western movies, and hopefully I can get those guys into the mood to play a Western RPG, because I am going to be running one. I'm not sure if I'm going to be running Boot Hill 3rd edition, 1st edition, or possibly Deadlands during the summer as well. Online, not sure if we're going to, televise those games, because to be honest, it's a little bit of a distraction when you're trying to run a game and run a video. It's so much easier to just do it on Discord. But if you guys are interested in being in one of those games, let me know in the comment section below, or hit me up on Discord. But that's about all I got for this game review. It's definitely worth picking up. If you see it, at a flea market, a garage sale, something like that, buying it right now, it's about $150 if you can find it. If you can find it for less, I'd grab it in a heartbeat. But again, I'd wait until June, July, August before buying any expensive games on eBay. Definitely avoid trying to buy it on Amazon. I don't know if you can pick this up on drive-thru or any sites like that. If you can, and you don't mind doing a bunch of cutting and pasting onto cardboard and things like that, cool. Definitely worth having in your collection. But me, I always like the originals in the original format. They're worth a lot more money, and if you ever need to, make your money back, there's always a chance for that. But this one is not leaving my collection ever. So like I said, if you got any comments about this, make sure you hit me up in the comment section, and make sure you hit those buttons, because it only helps the channel grow, and we've got a lot of growing to do this year. Stay tuned for a very special announcement, like right after this video. I'll be making that before I ramble on any further. I'm going to say, have a great gaming weekend. Grab your buddies, grab some strangers, drag them to a table, play your favorite game. Let's get out there and make this year the best year of gaming yet. And until next time, guys, happy trails.